At the time of our recording, Lady LaJoyce and Pastor John Ingraham were still the servant leaders of Allen Chapel AME Church. But as you will hear in this month's episode, in the AME Church, pastors are given a one-year appointment and can be moved or reassigned annually. Well, that happened to our dear Team Ingraham, and they are now the new pastor and leading lady of Mount Pisgah AME Church in Lake City. We're so excited for them, and we'll have to have Lady LaJoyce on the show real soon to talk about the transition. But for now, we hope you enjoy this episode of her journey to becoming a pastor's wife and walking in her own divine calling as a woman of faith.
You can't put church people into a box. You just don't know what you're going to get, like that box of chocolates that Forrest Gump's mama talks about. Year one, Lady LaJoyce was just like a fish out of water almost. Because again, nothing prepares you, or at least nothing really, even all the lunch dates with fellow first ladies, all the outings, even working in ministry in different capacities did not prepare you, because now it's like everybody's just looking at you and your husband and they're saying, leader.
Hello and welcome to the Enlightened First Lady Show, where we will have a very special guest today. Lady LaJoyce Ingraham is in the building.
Hey.
Hello. And I am so excited to hear more about her journey as a First Lady. She serves as the First Lady of Allen Chapel AME Church in High Springs, Florida, where her husband, the well-equipped Pastor John Ingraham, leads that.
Oh.
And so we are just excited to hear more from you, hear your story, and just learn more about you. So thank you, Lady LaJoyce, for being with us today. So excited. So first, just tell me about who you are. Who is Lady LaJoyce Ingraham?
Oh my goodness. Woo. Who is Lady LaJoyce Ingraham? Lady LaJoyce Ingraham is a unique, eclectic, God-fearing, worshiping, down, soul stylist, fashionista, prayer warrior, daughter, wife, sister, friend, student, everything. That's who I am. I'm a whole lot. I'm a jack of all trades. I am just so much, and I'm oftentimes faced with this question, and I never know how to answer it straightforward. But that's me. That's who I am.
And I think, I've asked this to a couple of other women, and I get the same response, that we are constantly changing and evolving and adapting to the seasons that we're in. And so I think if I probably asked you that again tomorrow or 6 months from now, it would be different, because and that's kind of the joy in it, the ebbs and flows of life. So, well, I want to hear a little bit about you and your boo. I don't know if you have another pet name for him. All right. So just talk to me about how you and John met and your journey to this present moment.
Yeah. So John and I, Preachy, and I met, that's one of his pet names. We met when we were teenagers in the YPD, which is the Young People's Division of the AME Church. He attended a church in Miami, and I attended a church at the time we were in Bunch Park. And we're now Mount Hermon, Miami Gardens. And we were just young people. And I will never forget the first time I really paid attention to him. And it was just on. After that. We each have our own stories about how that all played out. Even the other individuals involved, because there was some matchmaking going on, I like to think. But it was just fun. We were young. We were both just really in our own lanes and really carving out who we were as young people. I had just turned 16. So I was just definitely in this, like, I am 16, going on 17. Like that whole like vibe of like, I'm about to be a grown woman. So I need to find the love of my life.
Oh, wow.
So that's how we started. Yeah.
So at that time, did you, 16, the calling can reveal itself and people can answer it at different phases of their life. So I imagine, like you said, you were carving out your own path, but was there an explanation that Pastor Ingraham was going to be, going on this trajectory, or were you just young in love and just...
Oh, my God, absolutely. I mean, we were really involved in the youth, programming at the church. And so I was, I think I had an elected position in our youth program or the YPD. Gosh, this is so long ago. Like, you are really making me go back.
Yeah, we go back.
And so we would have like conference and district meetings, and we would be interacting. And then we both served on the conference level as officers. He was the president of the South Conference at the time, and I was the second vice president or something like that. Yeah. And so we were just involved a lot. We planned a lot of oh my gosh, this is crazy. I'm just thinking about the then and the now, like how it all comes full circle.
Yeah.
We were planning like walkathons to raise money for like self-denial programs and just so much. Like, oh my God. And like, look at us now, still like, I'm jumping the gun, but still like really carving out our own lanes and being creative and finding ministry, doing ministry our way. Like, oh my God. So yeah, we absolutely were involved in ministry as youth. And I knew that he was ministering. He was preaching at his own church. I think there were some occasions where he would come over to our church and he would preach. And I, of course, was, singing all the time. My sister and I were the first, hold on. And at the inception of our praise team at our church, we were some of the founding members. But my sister and I, as little girls, we were on the praise team and we were in the youth choir. And of course, you have Sunday afternoon services, and we were always singing there and asked to sing at different churches within the conference. So we were heavily involved there. So there was a lot of like passing by and a lot of like seeing each other, working together, even then. So it's just so beautiful to see how it's flourished today.
Yes. I love that you all, that foundation was set early and it was rooted as individuals. Like you said, he was doing his thing and his way of ministering. You were doing yours and your gifts and graces. And so to be able to pull that all together years down the line is just a beautiful thing to see. Yeah. So how long have you been married now? How long has he been pastoring?
So he's been pastoring now for going on 5 years. We've been married 6 years. And we've lived here for about going on 4 years. So we were commuting back and forth when he first got the assignment. And that was a journey in and of itself from South Florida to High Springs, which is about a 5-hour drive. But yeah, that's a little bit about how long we've been here and how long we've been married as well.
Wow. So you were making a 5-hour commute to the church you were initially assigned to. And just for those who are listening, in the African Methodist Episcopal Church, we believe that our pastors are considered itinerant. And that means they move around any given year through the vision and the grace of our bishops and our presiding elders. Our pastors are given a 1-year appointment to a church. So any given year, you can be reassigned. And they like to take into consideration family, or if you're bivocational, if you have another career, another job. But sometimes, yes, you can be sent on to assigned to a church that is quite a distance. And prayerfully, as you progress in the ministry, that does not become such such a challenge. But you do. After they say they will go where they send me, I'll go. And
that's right.
So, wow. So how have you, maneuvered through life, or these last few years as a pastor's wife? Did you have like a support system? Did you have anyone you looked up to already in that kind of role, or are you just defining it for yourself?
All of the above. All of the above. You need that. I am so like multi-dimensional. And so especially having to navigate being a first time like pastor's wife in a global pandemic, and in an unknown city, with unknown faces. And it has been such a time, but it's been so rewarding because I have grown so much in my personal relationships. You asked me if if a mentor, someone that I've looked up to, and I have so many just women in general that are always sharing their wisdom and just talking and always making themselves available at any given moment. And that could be anywhere from an older mother of the church, or some of my former first ladies just growing up and attending different churches. My mother, of course, my sisters. I have two younger sisters who I miss all the time, but I could cry thinking about them because they're doing such amazing things. And I'm so proud of who they are, and seeing them from afar and then being able to reconnect with them at times is what refuels me. My husband is my best friend, so I'm not in this alone. He is so amazing in allowing me to be vulnerable and share with him some of my own personal anxieties or concerns or questions about how this all works, because there is no green book. There's no guidebook to being a first lady, a pastor's wife. I thought I was just marrying my husband. I married a who then became a pastor. He was preaching all of his life, and even we met, but he did not become a pastor until a couple years after we got married. So we've both been learning. So we give each other grace in it. What else? I mean, I'm very, very passionate about the things that I'm passionate about, my hobbies, and obviously singing and music and performing. I think navigating all of this in the global pandemic, being at home, being face to face with myself, being face to face with my husband all day long, navigating that. I picked up new interests. I picked up new hobbies. I went back to school. I did so many things to really make sure that I was really seizing the moment and really seeking God and, just doing those things to really center myself. So I'll say that although it's been at times challenging, it's been such a blessing, navigating, my husband pastoring and me in this whole first lady role and all of that in the pandemic, because I've just grown in so many ways. Like I said, relationships and just personally, professionally, learning more about, perfecting and streamlining things within my business and being an entrepreneur, just so much. I'm sure you could, write a book about all that you have learned through this journey during the pandemic. And I'm sure some of those stories and lessons we can cross-reference them, because they're similar. Yeah, girl, that's it. That's what I've been doing.
That's so good, because first of all, I've heard a couple of things there. One is that you and your husband are each other's safe space. And I think that that is so important in any marriage, whether you're a clergy spouse or otherwise. You took those vows for better, for worse, in sickness and in health, to be there. This is a person that God ordained and that you vowed to walk through life with. And so the fact that you have, because not all marriages we know have that, and so the fact that you recognize that and make it a priority is so important. And you also talked about just having outlets outside of ministry, because people be surprised that, oh yeah, I have a life outside of church. I love my church. I think I just
just triggered a moment that I had with the client last week. So yeah.
But yeah, and that's a part of what I'm seeking to do with, just with this outlet, is just recognize that we are women of God, of course. But yes, our end all be all is not the church or the building.
Right.
That we are the church. There's so much more. There's and I believe that the Lord wants us to live in that abundance, and ways to use our gifts and our talents in other capacities to bless everyone. So talk to me a little bit more about some of those other outlets, because you kind of touched on it when we first started, but I want folks to know exactly how they can connect with you, or in terms of your other avenues that you are a part of.
Yeah, girl. So I am the founder of the Connoisseur LLC. It started as like a beauty and lifestyle brand back in 2015. I became an independent like wardrobe stylist, makeup artist, hairstylist to like local, what do they call them? Like local celebrities, or not celebrities. What are they called?
Dignitaries?
Just basic public figures.
Okay.
Some dignitaries, a really, really diverse clientele, actually. And so that was just my pride and joy. I kind of branched off into the deep end by literally just cutting cold turkey everything that I had going on. I really centered myself and was like, God is calling me to be an entrepreneur. And so it has grown into an amazing, just all around experience. I've since then launched several other offset brands, but that are all kind of still aligned. The Upstager Society, which you have supported, and thank you. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that people actually like this, like what I create. It's just it amazes me every time. I love it. I'm an artist, so I'm sensitive about it all. We're gonna keep it clean. But thank you. My supporters are so amazing. So the Upstager Society is a handmade, bespoke atelier, I like to call it. It is one of my outlets. My grandmother was a seamstress, and it is my way of kind of reconnecting to the gifts and the skills that she instilled in me before she passed. So that's another outlet. That's a way that I kind of just disconnect, but still stay within purpose and still help to build and encourage others and inspire them to kind of shine their light and develop their own unique sense of style and individuality. So that's the Upstager Society. I'm also a singer. I'm a classically trained singer. I don't know if a lot of people know that. I attended Howard University and studied classical music. Yes, your girl is a studied.
The real.
I just like to sing. So yeah, I'm still singing here and there as often as I can.
Are you gonna say? You can't say that and then not just give us one little stanza, a little line.
And that always happens. When I introduce myself and say that I can sing, the first thing people say, I'm like, give me a taste.
Yeah.
And you're always supposed to have a little song in your back pocket. So, and I do. I'll go ahead and share real quick. Because God is faithful. God is faithful. Amen. And this song has carried me through. I sing it all day long. I sing it all through the week. I sing it at every engagement now. It's one of those staples that I sing unless someone requests something specifically. But I just want people to know that God's faithful no matter what. And so it says, great is thy faithfulness, oh God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions, they fail not. And as thou hast been, thou forever will be. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Wow. LaJoyce, that was so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that gift with us, with everyone that is watching, with everyone that's listening. Wow. And you said you're classically trained, so I'm sure you've been singing those since you could talk. Not since I could talk. Probably. I don't know.
Are your sisters singers too?
They are. They are.
So it's in the family.
Our parents aren't singers, though. And it's strange because we really are trying to figure out where this gift comes from.
Yeah.
I believe it's truly from the Lord. But our grandfather, my father's father, was an old Baptist quartet singing, devotion moaning singer, and I think that's where we get it from.
Okay, but yes, like you said, divinely inspired, divinely given. Wow, that was so.
Man.
Well, let's just get back into just
okay, please.
You've been a clergy spouse now for 4 years. Just any kind of rewarding moments that have stuck out, or any challenging moments that you feel comfortable sharing, and how you all navigated that? Or has it been? I mean, I know that some churches it can vary. It can vary. The dynamics are different everywhere. We can't put church folk in a box. So maybe, but just reflecting on the last 4 years or so, anything that stands out, or in this journey, or even something, where you're like, oh, babe, I don't know if I would have handled it that way. Like, do you bring it up? Do you kind of surrender to the Lord? How do you get that? Yeah.
You want to talk about LaJoyce year 1, year 2, year 3, or year 4?
Oh, okay.
There's levels. It's levels to it. Mm-hmm. And I think from my vantage point, I am so grateful for this journey, with who I'm serving alongside, and with being my husband, because he just sets the tone right for not only like our home, our marriage, our family, like everything. He handles business almost the same way with the church. Of course, it's a lot more rigid. It's a lot more, formal at times. But it is just so seamless. And again, from my vantage point, you asked me about any memorable like moments or challenges. And sure, you can't put church people into a box. You just don't know what you're gonna get, like that box of chocolates that Forrest Gump's mama talks about.
Right.
You just don't know. But I think if your core values are what they are, if and you and your husband are on, one accord, it just flows. And I'm grateful for that. So there have been challenges, but I do bring it up. If there's something, sometimes I go to the Lord and I pour it out, and then my husband will come to me next day and he's like, literally responding to what I asked the Lord to handle, so it's just amazing, the flow of the Holy Spirit and being able to roll personally, in order to really like tune in and lean into what my role is here. One of the biggest and best memories is once the pandemic started and we were just here. And we had to navigate online and Zoom and tech and this and that. And I just needed to slow down for real. Like, I'm like, the world is literally slowing down, but church has not stopped. It's kind of pivoting. So we're also having to pivot, but LaJoyce needs to slow that for a minute. And so I did this, that I sought the Lord. I went out and I started a garden and would literally seek the Lord in the garden. And I would literally sit out there and I would meditate. And I would pray and I would hear the Lord speaking and instructing me on things to do. And that inspired so much amazing conversation with my husband and getting him involved in gardening and things like that. And, before we knew it, we had a whole community garden, and so it's just so amazing to see like how we are. I don't know. It's just amazing. So you asked me if it's year one, LaJoyce, I'm asking you, do you want to, really know the real of year one versus year four? It's just, tapping in, leaning in, trusting God, seeking God, communicating, with God, with self, with your boo, with those in your inner circle, real issues, real situations. And I think I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to even have this reflective moment to like think over it all.
Oh, that's so wonderful. And what you said just about, being true to the values, being authentic, showing up, meeting people where they are, and staying connected to the source, staying connected to God, recognizing at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's not about our titles or our roles.
Right.
It's about the God that we serve. And so as we like Reverend Julius McAllister here about Tallahassee says, keep the main thing the main thing. And as Lottie,
that is what I say all the time. And I hear other people saying that in my life. So I'm like, okay, God, come on and keep the main thing the main thing. Come on and confirm it for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And we have to sometimes recenter ourselves. And so I love that you said, you recognize you were in tune with yourself and said, okay, it's too much. I need to take a moment back. I need to go back to the earth. I need to, start this garden. And help us both center ourselves. And you said that it blossomed to the fact that the community started to take part in that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so the church, our church leaders and members really backed us. They really embraced. And that was the point I was going to. I told you I can just talk. I just love to talk. Okay. When my husband presents ideas or just the vision for the overall year, whatever it is, the focus is, like, they embraced him, they embrace us, and they support us, and oh my goodness, it's just amazing. Again, I'm a city girl for real. I'm from Miami, and so now I literally call my journey City Girl Takes the Country, because I am literally, we call ourselves farmers up here. And we love, just everything that we've learned about gardening, everything we've learned about building a community garden and just so much. So, yeah, they backed us and they love us and they're always coming over and asking, what do we need? And it's just amazing.
That's so beautiful. That's so because you don't want to take that for granted. Just the village, and
Hello.
I'm a PK and grew up in the AME church. And so when my dad got his first charge, I was in middle school and I cried and cried and cried because I did not want to leave the home church that we were at in St. Pete when we first got there. And, my mom said, it was just something so profound that still sticks with me is that, it's not goodbye to to a congregation. Your village is just expanding and growing.
Yeah.
And so that's just something that I've carried with me because now my husband is in his third charge since we've been married. So in the last 6 years, he's pastored 3 churches already. And so it's just something that, I tell the other previous congregations, if you all have a service, invite me. I want to be there. I want to continue to support you. And it's a powerful thing. And I love to hear that the Allen Chapel family has embraced you all fully and just supported you all and helped to carry you all, especially through the pandemic. So I want to, as we wind down, is there anything, did I leave a stone unturned with, if we talk about year one, LaJoyce? I mean, were you like, oh no, I don't want no parts of it, or
honey, let me tell you something. Kat, you want me to keep it real? Year one, Lady LaJoyce was just like a fish out of water almost. Because again, nothing prepares you, or at least nothing really, even all the lunch dates with fellow first ladies, all the outings, even working in ministry in different capacities did not prepare you, because now it's like everybody's just looking at you and your husband and they're saying, lead us.
Yes.
But you better lead us right. And that weighed on me because it was like, can I, and how do I approach this? And there were some moments where I was like, just be yourself. There's really no other way to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to buckle down and really trust your instinct with this one. Trust that God, who has been keeping you and guiding you all this time, it ain't gonna fail you now. Yeah. So that was pretty much just a synopsis of just initially what that looked like. But just as a quick little story, when we pulled up to the parsonage, when we pulled up to the parsonage, mind you, I'm coming from, within 10 or 15 minutes, I can go to whichever restaurant of choice, date night.
I'm from Miami,
South Florida. Get away. Baby, it was the nearest restaurant is at least 30 minutes, maybe, and then it was completely just different. I went from like, can I keep it real?
Keep it real.
I went from like central air to like space heater, needing a space heater at night to keep you cool. So you had to cuddle up a little more.
I love it.
To stay warm. I cried when we first came to the parsonage, because it was like a part of me I had to just shut the door on and really like step into this new role. And it was just like the reality had set in.
Wow.
And my husband, he was so ashamed. But it was naturally me. And it was almost like an icebreaker, because it was like the individuals that were there with us who are now like our dearest, like family, some of our church leaders, they knew then that we just gonna have to embrace her a little extra, so that she can transition into this new role, this new stage in life, and they have done just that. I mean, have fed us, have driven us, have sold into us, like just in so many ways. And God is so faithful in that regard. But I literally cried when we pulled up, and I'm embarrassed to say that because now, like, don't pull up, to the High Rock and not turn up with us, because this is the place to be, Allen Chapel AME Church, House of Crazy Faith. It is such a wonderful place that we are growing believers. We are every day just seeing God just blow our minds in the testimonies of our members and our neighbors in the community. We've made so many friends with people in the community that have also gone out and done amazing things. So just our network is expanding, and I could go on and on and on, but year one, LaJoyce cried. Year two, LaJoyce buckled down and created this room that you see now and kind of made my own lair, my own little studio. And it has transformed so many times since we've been here, but it's my space to have my outlet, my getaway. It's my beauty room, my glam room. I get dressed in here. I sing in here. I record music in here. I do a lot. So year two, LaJoyce kind of locked in. He tapped into like who she really was in addition to this new role. Year three, LaJoyce. Oh yeah, because year two, LaJoyce released new music. Released new music. Check it out, Queen Me on Apple Music, and we've got a music video on YouTube. So I was coming off of that, and year three, LaJoyce, I'm sure there was some challenges there, but I think year two kind of prepared me mentally, physically, for all of that. And here we are, year four, going into year five. And gosh, I'm like at the place where you mentioned earlier, where your mother mentioned such a valuable like gem, as far as your village growing and expanding. So not necessarily saying goodbye. So you think about, all the just goodness that has taken place in this place and the relationships formed and all of that. And it's like, okay, God, you kind of sort of peek in, okay, what's next? And, I obviously we pray and know that the trajectory is higher and higher, so that means that there will be some goodbyes, or, we don't know when or how, but you kind of want to be in the reality of things. And so I always think about, oh my God, what would it be like when we leave this place, that has just embraced us and that we have embraced and adapted to. I promise you, when I grow up for real, I'm going to be a cowgirl. Okay. I'm going to have acres and acres of land and farmland, and we just going to worship out there under the stars.
Enlarge the territory.
What'd you say?
Enlarge the territory.
Come on. Hello. Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, LaJoyce, for sharing with us today and this time. I so appreciate you. You're such a light, and I cannot wait to see where the Lord will take that teen Ingraham in the years to come. Such a blessing, such a delight. Anything else? Any closing thoughts or reflections? Any words of encouragement for our folks that are listening or watching? You share your story of being an enlightened First Lady in your own right.
Yeah. First off, thank you so much. I shared with you in our little DM messages that you inspire me so greatly. You have no idea the ways that you do. You are just also such a light and so genuine and kind and so needed in this space, just in ministry in general and in all that you're doing with the Enlightened First Lady. Like, thank you for connecting with me. Thank you for connecting us. Thank you for almost highlighting us, because it's just one of those roles that I'm not looking for an applause. We aren't looking for any of that, really. You know, my allegiance, my service, you know, is to the Lord and to my husband, my home, my family. And all glory to God, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if y'all want to, you know, thank me, I do like MAC makeup and lip gloss and stuff like that. I'm joking. I'm really just joking. But I mean, I really do love beauty and stuff like that. But thank you again. I love you. God bless you. I can't wait to see how this expands, and I can't wait to continue to connect and see what else comes out from this.
Again, I just feel like sometimes clergy and their spouses are put on this pedestal, and I want to kind of bring that down. You know, just put, you know, we're human in our own rights, you know, and relatable, you know. So just the message should be it can be however you feel led to, whether it's to other clergy spouses or just, you know, just a believer or someone even struggling in their faith. Just anything that you'd like to share, just in closing. And then as you do that, also just let us know how we can follow you, how we can keep up with all that you have going on.
I think it's funny that you should say that, you know, you're kind of sort of just putting it out there so that we aren't put on this pedestal. In my work that I do on a daily basis, I am in beauty retail management. So I manage a Sephora store. I don't know if you're, so Sephora.
Yeah.
So one day one of our clients comes in and we're just chatting, and I'm, you know, sharing with her the latest and the greatest and the trends and all of that. And we get to the checkout register and she says something about pulling off on the plug twice or something like that. You know, that song. I don't know who raps it. Look, who raps it, who sings it, who wrote it, who performs it. But I knew what she was, you know, referring to.
Right.
And so I kind of like rapped it along with her. And she was like, oh, not the first lady pulling off on the plug. And honey, listen, can y'all, first of all, to you and you and you, God bless you, but can y'all stop doing that?
Yeah.
We are real, regular, degular, schmegular people that just happen to be called by God and are willing to go and to be a light and to share our testimonies and to witness and to encourage and to uplift. You know, that's really it. And you can too. So I encourage you to go out and be a light, be the light. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. So as long as Christ lives in you, go out and shine that light, that love that you all share with one another, and go out and make peace with people and be kind to people and laugh with people and show up for people and just be you as God has graced you to be. There's nobody like you. There's absolutely, just like there's nobody like God. Like he really thought about that when he made you, that there really is nobody like you. So go out there and be you and shine your light and be great. You know, I love y'all. Thank you for listening to Little Old Me. You can follow me and connect with me on Facebook. I'm LaJoyce Ingraham there. On Instagram, I'm at LaJoyce the Voice. On TikTok, I'm LaJoyce the Voice. I'm trying to learn TikTok. So you listen, I can't do the dances and everything. I can't do the voiceovers either because I'll probably be all off, you know. But I'm gonna stay in my lane and just, you know, listen, share my light. That's it.
That'll preach. Now, yes, let your light shine. That's it. Well, Lady LaJoyce, I appreciate you so much, my dear. Continue to be well. And you will definitely just be following along on your journey. God bless you, sister.
God bless you. Love you.
Love you.